So I've been checking an LSAT mock since quite some time now, and I have seen certain mistakes that you guys are making, which I want to discuss in today's video. Because the examination is scheduled in April, it is time that I should tell you that what are the things that you need to keep in mind, what are the things that you need to avoid doing in your mocks if you are giving any. Let's start with this video. Hi guys, I'm Ayushi, your mentor for law-based examinations, and welcome to Law Digest. The first and the foremost thing that I'm seeing students are doing is that they are giving arguments from both the sides. You've probably heard in the information session, and I've also told you that you need to give the arguments from both the sides. Now, when you're giving those arguments, it does not simply mean that, when you see the question, you just simply write the argument from X side is this and the arguments from Y side is this. That is not how I want, or the examiner or NLS wants you to frame your answers. If you would see, there are many videos that I've posted on Part B answer writing, and we've also discussed the IRAC approach. How are you supposed to exactly go about answer writing? Please remember, when you read the question, identify what the issue is, what is the thing that we want to arrive at. Put that question up. Then you talk about what is the rule that is given in the question. If there is a law that is given, then you understand the implication of that law and give it. Then you apply that law to the facts in the question and give argument. So if you are, now it is important to pick a side. You can't simply just give arguments from both the sides and then conclude that this side is stronger. You have to specifically choose a side, and say, for example, if you're choosing side X, then you have to give all your arguments from the side of X. Try to keep them in majority. Try that at least you're able to write 3, 4, you're able to figure out 3, 4 main reasoning points from that side. Then you get on to what the argument of the other side is, or what is their major claim, or what is that major defense that they would rely on. Pick that up and then immediately rebut it, that why that argument that is taken from the other side, the contention that has been picked from the other side, why that does not hold good. Because that way is only you will be able to show that how your side is predominant and your side of arguments make more sense. Because you have to if you have to give a conclusion to your questions, then you have to show also that how one side is more important. So do these things and then conclude. Simply giving arguments from, many students are doing this in the mocks, and by simply giving arguments from both the sides and then concluding that I would conclude in favor of X because of this and that reason. You have to structure your answer in such a way that it leads to the conclusion. Conclusion is not separate from your answer. Your answer should be framed in such a manner that it is leading to that conclusion. So this is something that was very important for me to share with you. Then the next part is, I think you guys are facing the issue with timings, because there are many students who are unable to attempt the essay, or there are students who are able to attempt only if there are legal aptitude questions, they're leaving one question and they are opting for the essay, because obviously the marks given in the essay are higher. So if you are having time issues, then please better your time. You have to work on time management, because leaving a question of 12 marks or an essay of 15 marks, that will make your performance suffer eventually. So you have to try and work on your timings. Now that does not mean that you leave out any of the passages in part A, because your part A marks will be considered in order for your part B to be evaluated, and eventually in the merit both will be taken along. So we can't really say that part A is more important or part B is more important. You have to figure out about the time management. How will you do that? By practice only it will happen. So in case you are not giving mocks, you must give mocks for this examination. They are available on our website www.lawdigest.in. Just in case you're not able to find mocks, it is given on our website. We've also given you a lot of practice material on part A, part B in the module that's there. So even if the examination is close and you feel that doing the whole course does not make sense to you, but let me tell you that if you want to practice more, then the module is good enough, because there are a lot of practice questions and you can endlessly practice there for your examination that's upcoming. You still have time. You have 20 days for your examination, and that practice can be done in these coming days. Then again, another issue that I am seeing in the mocks while I'm evaluating the answers is that many of you are using informal language in order to put across what you have to say. Now, please remember that this is an examination. You're not talking to your friend or your relative. It is like a formal communication. Remember, these answers are like a formal communication with the examiner. So the language also has to be proper. Do not make grammatical mistakes. Some students have these issues of grammatical mistakes. Remember that in how so many arguments you may give, how so many reasoning points you may give, but if your grammar is weak, if it is not proper, then you will lose out your chances to a great extent, because that is something that will eventually strike the examiner, that you should be able to write a sentence properly and it should be comprehensible. The moment your grammar goes for a toss, your marks will also go for a toss. Then another issue is students citing law. You might be studying law for MHCET, or you might have studied for AIT or other examinations. Please do not cite the knowledge of that law here in these questions. That is not required. They've clearly said they don't want you to give prior knowledge of law. They're not checking your prior knowledge of law in this examination. So please refrain from citing any article of the Constitution or any legal case or any understanding that you may have derived of the laws. Then essays, as far as the essays are concerned, do not give numbers like 40% of the population is below poverty line, or whatever numbers you are trying to give, because these are analytical reasoning essays. Your facts will not matter. What will matter is your perspective. They're checking your perspective on these issues. They're checking that do you have a viewpoint. See, tomorrow if you're sitting between your friends and some issue comes up and you're debating about it, like you're debating about, is Hinduism being the majority religion today in India, are the conditions such? So when you're debating about this, you might be giving those facts with your friends. Here the main thing that they are checking is, what is your viewpoint on this issue? Do you feel that Hinduism is taking over all other religions? Is the country turning into non-secular? So that is what is required. That is what will be eventually checked from your essay. Your understanding of Keshav Nanda Bharti case or your knowledge about landmark judgments will not matter here, or any of the recent events, if you would cite in your essay, that won't matter. Yes, initially, for it to be an opener, you can cite certain events, to give the introduction, to introduce the key words that are there probably in the question title. All those things you can give, but then avoid getting into those facts too much, because your perspective is being checked through these essays. So it is an analytical reasoning essay, and it is not a UPSC knowledge based essay that is being checked, or your school college essays. It is very different from those essays. If you have any problem regarding your answer writing, regarding essays, you can already check the videos that have been posted by me in the NLSAT playlist. I've clearly explained to you. Also check the NLSAT information session, just in case you missed the directions that I gave there, that have come from NLS itself. So check those videos. They are going to really help you. And as far as practice is concerned, you can check our website for study material. In case there are any further doubts and queries, you can drop down the same in the comment box below and I'll get back to you. I'm available on different social media platforms. The links of the same are in the description of this video. So you can reach out to me, and make sure that for such videos you are following us here as well as on Instagram.